Hey, butterflies. Hello, hello, hello. It's your girl, Kaixa Rodriguez, aka Diamond Butterfly, here with another episode of Behind the Eye of Kai. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And today's show is going to be a super hot topic. Um, if you've watched Sofa Chats or you've watched T Wade's To the Point, you see that we've kind of been dabbling around the same type of subject relationships, um, mental health, the way guys and girls think. And so yesterday, T Wade posted something on his Facebook page. It was a gentleman's a clip of his podcast. I don't know how to get to the full extent of the whole entire show, but in the little, I'll say maybe 20-second clip, he went in. He went in. And so that's what we're going to talk about today. So the show is titled Hail the Independent Woman, or All Hail the Independent Woman. But this is not um like a celebration of the term. It's not going to be a derogatory show of the term. It's going to be a deep dive from my perspective, behind the eye of Kai, into the term. And I would love to get your feedback. So if you are available, hop on, invite a friend, tell a friend, share the link, all of that good stuff, so that we can talk about the term independent woman, why people, specifically men of color, are so upset about it, why women, specifically women of color, why we use it. And some of us wear it as a badge of honor. I will not dispute that. But where did it come from? Why do we feel as if we need to be independent women? Where did the societal change come from for us to feel that we need to, announce that we are an independent woman? And why do some men get so upset about it? So we'll be back. We're going to share this out. We're going to do the things that we normally do. But while I do that, we are going to, let y'all listen to a little bit of music. We're going to get the intro going. Yeah. So we'll be back in about 5. Great day, blessings to you. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Behind the Eye of Kai with your host, Kaixa Rodriguez, aka Diamond Butterfly. Make sure you tell a friend and bring a friend. And come on back every Monday at 11:30 a.m. to 1 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Join me for some hot, candid, informational, and entertaining, sometimes funny, witty conversation about everything under the sun, from music to food to love and laughter, business, and maybe we'll just ramble and chit-chat sometimes. I'm glad to have you. I hope you enjoy the show. Let's go.
Y'all ain't ready. Y'all didn't even see this coming. But guess what? We here. We ain't going nowhere. Changing the game. If y'all didn't know, you gonna know. It's time. Paige is bringing the pain.
Yo, Dolo. Yeah, from YouTuber to rapper, but I'm not an actor. In this equation, we be that motherfucking factor. You gon' need backup, yeah, cause we don't back up, nah. And if we talking them dollars, it might attract us, yeah, cause we earned it all. And nothing was given cause we deserve it all. And it's the curtain call. We stay ready for the coach's call. So know when we clock in, just know we ready to fall.
Intro, into tune into the room. Animalistic from the beat like an army platoon. Tsunami waves made, yo, just a monsoon. Try to take me down, but you can't touch us in pontoon. Blacklisted, considered a misfit I get sick with. Twisted off the Christmas tree, 413 represent thee. Another state of mind, outer space is my place. Too lethal rambling on to decimate the whole entire place.
Jumping off the page, new outbreak. They trying to take us down, it's too late. The quarantine won't save this outbreak. Everyone will know. Jumping off the page, new outbreak. They trying to take us down, it's too late. The quarantine won't save this outbreak.
Get back, boy, I say get back. We gon' whip that, flip that, now we all split that. Took a quick nap, came back, now I count big racks. These are big facts, same cat, never gon' switch that. I'm out to be the greatest, if I say it, then I meant that. This money on my mind, so you know I'm trying to get that. Niggas trying to play me, but the truth is I ain't with that. You playing with your life, boy, that's something you can't get
This
back.
ain't blitting that, you know how I get back, not never disrespecting that. It's money on my mind, better believe I'm about to get that. I keep on moving forward, got these haters getting bit, man. A real country boy from Atlanta, dripped up and dripped out, the women think I'm handsome. Nigga want the Anna, but the smoking cause of cancer. And that chopper make a nigga dance. Have you ever seen a grown man shit in pants? Yeah.
Shit ain't coming across my guys, it be suicide. You know that. Playing with the guard, you end up crucified. You know that. And ain't nothing changed the way I do my thing. I dropped the four a bit and miss cause Webber in the game. Learn to run the numbers up, nigga, you dumb or what? Shit, I'm good up on my side, them killers showing up. We so sliding in and out, they ain't no slowing up. Man, you know what's up. Yachty.
I told y'all we was coming. I told you. You ready for some more? Let's go.
Jumping off the page, new outbreak. They trying to take us down, it's too late. The quarantine won't save this outbreak. Everyone will know. Jumping off the page, new outbreak. They trying to take us down, it's too late. The quarantine won't save this outbreak. Everyone will know.
Gliding in silence, most shine with sirens. Busters doing the hiring, sound off, I'm firing. Bang! Got my stripes ready to coat hang. More gas than propane. I'm John Wick to these John don't know name. But they ain't ready for the flow change. Scrounging nickels and dimes playing dice. Picking up off the flow change. We DNA dope change. We TNT ready to blow unchained raw.
And now you know we're here. This is Paige, the label, coming at you. Be ready.
Feel it. Ain't no calls, ain't no texts, no knocks at my front door. If you think I'ma chase you,
you say that you want me, claim you wanna be my boo thing. So tell me why my phone don't ring, there's not a single text from you. Trying to convince me you're on your grind all day. Something's not adding up. You're making it hard to give you my trust. Am I supposed to blindly trust your words when your actions say the opposite? What is a girl to do? If you really want my love, show me what you need. Make us a priority. I want to see you, feel you. I want to hold and squeeze you. If you're really feeling me too, your actions mean more to me than mere words ever could. I need to see you, feel you. I need to hold and squeeze you. If you're feeling me too, your actions mean more to me than mere words ever could. I'm trying to ignore, babe, all the things I hear, you clearly hear say. I want to trust you, but my head's a good move on. You're too easy to take me out.
don't know what happened, guys. I don't know what happened. I'm having so many issues with my laptop. It's ridiculous. I'm hoping that you guys can still hear me. I really, really do. I hope that y'all can hear me. Hold on, let me text somebody to make sure that y'all can hear me because it is bugging. See, now it's saying my connection was restored. So I'm hoping it's a storm going on out here, and I'm just hoping and praying that you guys can hear me. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna hop really quickly. Give me a quick second, please. I apologize. It's gonna be a weird live. All this stuff back here, you guys weren't supposed to see that part. I switched my room around and everything so that y'all can see the green screen and all of that stuff. And now you can't. So I'm sorry. So now I'm weird looking at the camera all weird and everything. And my laptop does not want to pull up anything. Yeah, I don't know what's going on. I'm assuming it's the storm. And so give me a quick holla second. And what I'm going to do. Okay, wait. Tony said he's hearing me. Yes, thank you, love. I was about to text somebody. Somebody, please tell me if you can hear me. Okay. All right. Good to know that you guys can hear me. So we're going to turn this way now. We're going to look at the camera on this side. And yeah. Hey, guys. Can you see me, Tony? You can hear me. You can see me. Let me know. Because there's still a play button in the front of my face on this one, which I don't know why. I don't know why that's there. But let me know if you can see me and not just hear me. Okay, good. Everything is good. He said, yep. All right. So we're back. We're back. Apologies for the song just cutting off like that. I'm assuming, like I said, I'm going to blame it on the storm because I've been having issues with my laptop. And but we are here. We are ready to roll. We are ready to get into this conversation. So yesterday, T Wade dropped a snippet of a video. I'm assuming this is what the person on their Instagram page. That's what he posted. Matter of fact, I can get the guy's name because I sent it to somebody so they could know what we were going to be talking about today. So it's from Ugly Monkey. There might be more to his Instagram page, but from what I can see, it's called Ugly Monkey something. And he was talking about women claiming to be independent women and how it is if you claim to be an independent woman, you are celebrating that you have no man in your life. Basically. Not even basically. That's what he said. You're celebrating that you have no man, no brother, no father, no uncle. Like there's no men anywhere in your life. That's why you're calling yourself an independent woman. False. Number one. That's not why women say that they're independent, because we all have a father. We may have a brother. We may have an uncle somewhere. You know, there are men in our lives. We may have some male friends. We have males in our life. An independent woman is a woman who is taking care of herself. Hey, tell me who you are, because unfortunately it just says Facebook user and I don't get to see the name of the people, not in the studio. I don't get to see. I just know that you're on Facebook and you're saying hi. So, hey. Ugly Monkey Niche. Thank you, Fred. Ugly Monkey Niche. That is the guy's name on Instagram. That's his name. So we're not celebrating the fact, I'm getting hot, that we are, hi, Audrey, that we are independent. We're not celebrating the fact that we don't have a partner. Saying that we are an independent woman is not a celebratory announcement that, hey, I don't have a partner, so I have to do it all myself. Yay, me. That's not, and I can't speak for every single woman, but I will say for every single woman, we're not celebrating the fact that there's no men in our life. That's not what it is. That number one, I will say 100%, she is not celebrating that there's no man in her life. She's not celebrating that her father's not in the picture. She's not celebrating that she doesn't have a brother. She's not celebrating that she doesn't have an uncle or any male friends. It's not a celebration. Okay. Now, are there some women that have taken it as a badge of honor? Sure. And why not? This is not, like I was talking to Fred earlier, this is not the days where you went from your parents' house directly to being married and being in now you're married and you have a husband. So this is not those days anymore. At some point, every single person takes care of themselves. You go from your parents' house to, well, can't even say that because there are some people who are like 35 and still living at home in their mama daddy's basement. Okay. So there's still those, or you go to college or whatever. But the point is, this is not the days when you went from one household to somebody else's household, and that other person's household, you are now a wife. Oh, I'm sweating. Today, you grow up in your parents' household, whether it's a single parent household or not, single mother, single father, your grandmother, whoever it is, you go from that situation to living on your own at some point, or living with friends, living, a college dorm, something. At some point, you are taking care of yourself, right? So you're independent. Men are independent. Women are independent. You're taking care of yourself. Then if you get with a partner, you should be taking care of each other. What has happened over time, however, though, is especially for women, is that we've had to, even with a partner, do the majority of the work. We're raising the kids. We're taking care of our man. We're working. We still are expected to come home, cook, clean, and do everything else, and pay half of the bills, right? If not more. If he's a couch monkey, you're taking care of him too, right? If that man turns around and walks away, which men do and women do, you are back to taking care of yourself. I don't understand why it is a bad thing to be an independent woman. Women of color, especially Black women, are like one of the, I don't see any other race getting bashed for taking care of themselves. I don't see it. I don't see any other race getting bashed for being able to take care of themselves, period. And then at the same time, if we sit around and we look for a man to take care of us, we're called gold diggers. But then we're compared to other cultures who are raised, men are raised that they're going to be the provider, that you're going to provide for the home, you're going to take care of the wife, women are raised, they know, well, I want to be a housewife. So I'm looking for a husband or a man who's going to provide for me to be able to stay home and take care of the family. In this guy's rant, he said, do Asian women call themselves independent women? No, they don't have to. Why? Because when they get married, they know that their husband is going to provide X, Y, and Z. So they don't have to worry about being an independent woman because they know what they want. They get out there, they ask for it, they expect it. The men are expected to provide, case closed. A Black woman, and I'm going to say specifically Black women, because the narrative is against Black women. His narrative was actually, he called them H's and B's. But if we ask for, I want to be a housewife, I want to stay home, so I'm looking for a man to provide X, Y, and Z, we're called gold diggers. Or the narrative today is, well, if you want a man with a house, you better have a house. If you want a man with a car, you better have a car. If you want a man that makes six figures, you better be making six figures. Well, once again, that's a woman who is taking care of herself. If she has attained all of these things, is she not taking care of herself? Has she not bought the house, bought the car, got the college degree, her master's degree, whatever it is, so that she can afford to live this specific lifestyle? Then it said, oh, she's too high maintenance. She's got all of these accolades. Now men are intimidated by her. I'm intimidated. I can't go and get a woman that's got six figures. So then that also becomes our fault that now men feel like they can't go out and talk to a woman or attract a woman or be with a woman who's making more money than them. So we need to dial ourselves back and, make $50,000 a year so that we can be approachable. No matter what a Black woman does, we are told we're wrong. Ask for what you want, gold digger. Go out and get it so that we can match what we're asking for. Now we're we're making too much, we're doing too much, we're not staying in our lane, and men cannot approach us. And this is coming from our men. You don't see rants from Caucasian men saying, we don't want no Black independent woman. If a Black woman goes and gets with a man outside of her race who's being a provider, who's doing all of those things, then she's selling out. But a Black man will go and get with a white woman and provide all of the stuff that a Black woman is asking for. But when we ask for it, we're wrong for asking for it. I don't make it make sense. There's somebody please make it make sense. And I want to know what father, since men are saying this everywhere, not all men, you know, Fred said I got to make sure I say not all men. So it's not all men. It's definitely not all men. Yes, everybody should be able to take care of themselves. And you shouldn't be stigmatized or bashed or made to feel like you're doing something wrong because you can take care of yourself. What father is teaching his daughter, don't go do nothing for yourself? You got to wait for a man to be able to provide for you. You got to rely on your man to pay your bills. You got to rely on your man to buy a house. You got to rely on your man to get you that car that you want. What father? I want to see you men light up the comments and say that's what you're teaching your daughter. That you're teaching your daughter she's got to be everything her man wants in order to keep him. And you can't be independent, daughter. You can't be able to take care of yourself because you won't get a good man. What father teaches his daughter that? I don't know any. And I know a lot of fathers who have daughters. None of my uncles taught their daughters to sit back and wait on a man. What fathers are teaching their daughter that? Yet you expect a lot of men, we won't say all men, there are those men who then turn around and say, she's doing it all herself. That's why she can't find no man. Even in the music today, y'all talk about, you know, what was it? Neo that has a song, one woman who could take care of herself, who wants me, but doesn't need me. But then that's a mixed message, right? Because if she only wants you, but doesn't need you, then y'all say, well, she can only get a man that's at her level. Because if she's way up here, then the men that's here are going to feel like they can't approach her. So she's got to be down here so that a man up here, he still don't want her because he's going to say, oh, she's only after me for my money because she's not on my level. So again, what do we do? What are we supposed to do with that? How are we supposed to navigate that water? You know, and we could go back in time. We can turn the clock back to when the Black family was a united front. And we know from history that society said, oh, no, that's not what we're going to do. We got to find a way to break up the Black home, which is what they did. They enticed the Black woman with, you know, here, we'll give you this, but he can't be in the picture. And a lot of us took it. And the men was like, oh, okay, I'll just back off. But I'm sure there were still a lot of women who would have rather have the man in the home. And still today, it's not a badge of honor. I think my husband told me some men are insecure. Yeah, some men are insecure and that we are intimidating them. And I don't understand that. I don't understand how a woman who can hold it down is intimidating. Because we are being told not even just two different sides of the story. We're told, one, we got to be like this. You got to be needed. A man wants to feel needed, not just wanted. But then we're also told, you know, that a man wants to be wanted, not needed. We're told you got to dial yourself down because no man wants a woman who can do it all. Then we're told, no, you got to have it yourself because no man wants to provide it all for you. He wants to know that you can stand on your own. You got to be equal to him. Yes, misunderstandings and mixed messages. There's a lot of mixed messages. And in today's Oh my gosh. In today's society with social media, everybody has a platform. Everybody is spewing these things that we don't even know if they truly believe. A lot of this stuff is clickbait. A lot of this stuff is said so they can make money. So I'm going to say the most craziest, wildest thing that I can. People are going to hit it. They're going to like it. They're going to comment on it. I'm going to make a whole bunch of money off of these people going yada, yada, yada. I don't even care if they call me all of these names, because guess what? I'm laughing all the way to the bank. That's today's society. You know, you can't take me to Applebee's. What? You can't take me to Cheesecake Factory. What? Are you kidding me? And then so what are our, sorry, something's going off in the background. So what are we teaching our young boys as well? You know, you have a daughter and you have a son in the house. What are you teaching your son about women? And then what are you teaching your daughter about men as a father in the home? Because as a father, you're the first man she loves. Whether you're in the house or you're not in the house, you are the first man that she loves. You are the example of what men are to her. So if you're not there, you've already told her men can't be trusted because you're not there. Whether you're in the house or not, you cannot be in the house but still be part of her life. But if you are absent, you are not in the home and you are not in her life, you've already told her men cannot be trusted. If you have a son and you're not in the home, you've shown him that's what men do. Men aren't supposed to be around. Men don't have to be in the house. Men don't have to stick around and provide for the family. So what are you teaching your child? What are you telling your daughter, if you are in her life, about men? What are you showing her? This is how a man takes care of his daughter. This is how a man takes care of her son. This is how a man takes care of the woman who gave his children life. Whether she's still your girl or not, are you taking care of your children? What are you showing your son? Are you showing your son this is how a man takes care of his family? Or are you absent, and are you the first example that men walk away? Are you the first man to break her heart? Are you the first man to show him that men don't stick around? Or are you there? Yeah, it didn't work out with me and your mom, but I'm never going to not be here for you. Sorry, the camera's backwards, so I'm trying to get my fingers right. You know, Fred said, you teach your boy to be respectful, honorable, loyal, temperate. Teach him the importance of being a good man, and that comes from you. A father's role in the house is so important. And I'm not saying you stick around just for the kids or anything, because that's the worst thing. People say we stuck around for the kids. That's worse, because kids can tell when their parents don't like each other. Kids can tell. Dad and they're not affectionate. They don't kiss each other. They don't hug each other. They don't laugh with each other. Kids can tell when things are off. We think that all kids need to see is a dad and a mom in the house. No, they need to know what two people look like who love each other. And if all they see is two people who barely want to talk to each other and aren't affectionate, when they grow up, that's what they think relationships are too. So what are we teaching our children about relationships and about love and about how to enter this world and be a productive member of society? Because your daughter and your son, nobody is teaching their son, you can't eat on your own, son. You got to wait till you get a good woman to get a good meal, because men expect women to be able to cook and clean. So are you not teaching your son how to clean up after himself? Are you not teaching your son how to wash his clothes? Are you not teaching your son how to cook, how to do anything? Because he's got to wait until he gets married, and he's got to wait until he gets a good woman to get a good meal and to get a good house cleaning, because that's what a woman does. No. You teach your son how to wash his clothes. You teach your son how to cook. I taught my sons how to cook. I don't want them. My son calls me all the time, Mom, how you make that, this, and that? Does this go first? I want him to know how to take care of himself, regardless of if there is a partner with him or not. Regardless of if he has an extra person with him. I want my daughter to be able to take care of herself, regardless of if she has a partner or not. It shouldn't matter. We should all be able to take care of ourselves. That's being independent. Now, like I said at the beginning, do have some people taking it, and do they wear it as a badge of honor that I can take care of myself? Yes. Is that even a bad thing though? Yes. Yes. What should be being taught, teaching isn't being taught. What we should be teaching our kids, it's not being taught. You know, half of these, and I hate to say this, a lot of parents aren't teaching their kids anything. We got, you know, people who they're still caught up on them. I wish my dad had taught me how to change a tire and change the oil in the car. I wish I had somebody. I'm 51 years old and I don't know how to change a tire. I don't. I know the basics, but I've never done it. Now, is there a difference between knowing how to do it and having to do it? Yeah, you can know how to do it, but you can have a partner who says, nah, that's not what you do. I got you. Tire needs to be changed. You need air in the tire. You need gas. I got you. You don't ever have to do that. Fine. But make sure she knows how to do it, because who knows when she will have a partner in her life. And why is it wrong for a woman to know how to take care of? Why is it wrong for a woman of color? Let's keep it all the way 100%. Why is it wrong for a woman of color, specifically a Black woman, to know how to take care of herself, to be able to take care of herself, regardless of if she has children, regardless of if her heart's ever been broken, regardless of any of that? She has to take care of herself before she gets into any relationship, unless she's getting married straight out of high school, right? Fred said, you teach a little girl the same aforementioned things as well. You teach her all the things that he was saying. You're going to teach your daughter the same thing that you would teach your son: how to take care of yourself, how to be honorable, how to be respectful, how to take care of themselves, how to cook, how to clean, everything. Both sides should know this stuff. Oh, she said. even, you know, I mean, listen, if you know how to take care of yourself, that should not be a bad thing, because we all have to take care of ourselves before we get into a relationship. Now, what has happened, especially in the Black community, is that we get into relationships and then they don't work, or they don't work, right? So if you've taught your daughter to wait for a man, and that man is supposed to take care of her the way other cultures do, right? If you've taught your son that when you get into a relationship, it is your job to be the provider of that household. It is your job to be the protector of that household. Your job is to take care of your family. Then guess what? When you get into a relationship, that's what happens, right? You're going to be the protector. You're going to be the provider. You're going to do what the other cultures do. It doesn't always work like that within the Black community. And this is not, and I didn't say every Black man, every Black woman. I said it doesn't always work like that. And we all know this. A lot of us were raised by single mothers. A lot of us are single mothers ourselves. A lot of us know single mothers or single fathers, because it goes both ways. There are single men and there are single women. Men aren't out there calling themselves independent men. No, they're not. Men are not out there saying, I can take care of myself, because men are just doing that. Men are taking care of themselves, right? They have a job, they have an apartment, they take care of themselves. It's no big deal. But when a woman can take care of herself, that's where the issue comes in. When a Black woman can take care of herself, now she's not being feminine. She's being too masculine. She's, you know, all of these other things that come into play. And it's just like, she is doing what every other woman is doing that isn't married is doing, or isn't in a relationship is doing. She's taking care of herself. She is providing for herself. And unfortunately, like someone said earlier before the show, a lot of times within the Black community, it is something that has been taught to her. She's been taught because someone else in the family has had to go through multiple breakups, multiple heartbreaks, trying to rely on someone else and having that person fall through. Dad's not in the home. So she has learned or been taught, you got to take care of yourself, baby girl. You cannot rely on anyone else to keep their word, to do what they say they're going to do, because they're not. They're not going to do it. And that's what she's been taught. That's what experience has taught her. That's what her field of vision has been. Her field of vision has been, nah, mom has been holding it down. Mom has been taking care of this household. Mom has been, so I got to make sure that I can take care of mine. I got to make sure that I can take care of me, because I don't ever want to be in a position where I rely on my partner to be there for me and he lets me down. I don't want to go through that. So I'm going to make sure that I got money in the bank. I'm going to make sure my car is mine and I can pay for it. I'm going to make sure my apartment or house or whatever is paid for. And then that seems to cause issues when dating a Black man. And that becomes that barrier, because I don't see other cultures having an issue with Black women saying that they're independent. I don't see Asian men doing podcasts and bashing Black women for saying that they're independent women. I don't see Caucasian men doing their podcasts and, oh, the Black independent woman, she could take care of herself. I don't see that. I see Black men bashing Black women for claiming to be an independent woman, for claiming to say she could take care of herself. Basically, now, are there those that say, they go into it, like I said, as a badge of honor, I can take care of myself. I don't need no man for this. But she doesn't. It doesn't mean just because she says, I don't need a man to buy my groceries, I don't need a man to pay my bills, I don't need a man to doesn't mean that she doesn't want help. But what she's saying is, I can take care of me. I don't need you, which is what Neo said. I want to be wanted, not needed. So if y'all want to be wanted and not needed, why is her saying, I don't need you to do these things, a problem? Exactly. But like you said earlier, Fred, we were given this term, independent woman. No one else says that. Like, he did say that. You don't hear Asian woman saying she's an independent woman. You don't hear, Caucasian women saying they're independent women. No, you don't. But they're also not the ones, when they can take care of themselves, being bashed for being able to take care of themselves. Black women are the ones who get bashed for being able to take care of themselves. Like you said, being an adult, being able to take care of yourselves, pay your own bills, take yourself out if you want to on a night, go to the movies. You don't need nobody to take you to the movies. I can take myself to the movies. For being able to do the things that every other adult on the planet, maybe not every other adult, but being an adult, being able to take care of yourself, hold yourself down. We are the people who are bashed for being able to do it. But if we don't do it, who's going to do it, right? If we are needy and we need help, this goes back to, oh, you should be able to take care of yourself. You just want me for my money. Like, what do we do as Black women to win? How do we win if no matter what corner we turn, we are seen as, oh, you just want me for my money? Well, you don't have nothing. Now you got too much. You shouldn't be talking about being able to take care of yourself. You should be able to take care of yourself. Like, it's, yes. And I will be the first to say that some women have taken on the term as a badge of honor. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think, like I said, to the ugly monkey guy, and I'm just saying that because that's his name, as a celebratory that there's no man in my life. Like, no one's going, yay, I don't have no man, I don't have no dad, there's no man in my life, so I have to be independent. Like, nobody's doing that. Nobody's celebrating it. No one's, woo, there's no man in my life. But that's what he said. I'm not taking it out of context. Go check it out. That is exactly what he said. He said the term independent woman is a celebration that you have no man in your life. Those were his words, not mine. We're not celebrating that we have no man in our life. Are some women celebrating that they can take care of themselves? Yes. Because we get bashed if we can't. We get bashed if we do. We get bashed for being single mothers. We get bashed. I mean, and I'm talking about this women thing right now. I'm not saying that men don't get bashed for things. Men do get bashed for things, but we're talking about the term independent women right here. This is what we're talking about, because women lately have been bashed for so much. Like Tony talked about it, a couple of weeks ago on his show about the whole masculine thing, women not being feminine enough, women not being, you can't have two alphas. You can't be a leader in the home and he be a leader in the home. Somebody's got to take the head. Somebody's got to be the absolute, which of course somebody has to be the absolute. But even in a job, which they use as reference, there are levels to leadership. You know what I mean? There's levels. There's a CEO and then there's levels. Hi, how are you? There's levels to leadership. And saying that a woman just only has this one role to play, she does a lot of stuff. She is the head. When the man's not there, who's taking care of the kids? Who's doing, all of this stuff that a woman does within inside of a household. She's a leader on her level. And there's a time to know he may go to her to ask for her input on this and on this and on that and on that. Even CEOs of a company have people that they turn to. It doesn't mean that her only place is beneath him, that she is not, able to give input. She's not able to do this. This is the thinking way back when women were only thought that the only thing she's good for is to have babies and to cook dinner. Like that's really all men thought women were smart enough to do. You could cook dinner and you could have babies and that's it. So women weren't working. Women weren't doing, there's a lot of things that women can do, and we've proven that. And it's not to say that we still don't want to be the woman in the house or that we don't want to play that role. It's saying that's not all we are good for. We can contribute a whole lot more to society, a whole lot more to the household than just, being your freak in the sheet and making sure dinner's on the stove. Like there's a whole lot more that your partner can contribute. And before she gets to be your partner, man, y'all got to make up your mind if you want her to be sitting around at mama's house waiting for you to come and rescue her, or if you want her out in the world experiencing life and able to take care of herself before you get to her. Because how does she know how to take care of a household if she's never had a household to take care of? See, back in the day, when women went from mom's house to husband's house, she had no experience taking care of a household, taking care of anybody other than whatever she was doing around the house. She wasn't even taking care of herself because she was still living at home. And mom back then was probably still doing all the cooking, doing all the cleaning, because she wasn't working, because women weren't doing anything but taking care of the household back in those days. So if that's what y'all want, then y'all got to be the provider. You have to step up your role and you got to be the provider. She said, yes, we are equal, but some are better. Yes, some things are better. We are better. Everybody play their role. Exactly. Play your role. Everybody has strengths. Everybody has weaknesses when it comes to just life in general. And me and my husband go through this. There's so many things that I'm better at than him. Like we run a business together and it drives me crazy because I don't want to do all of that. I'm like, no, I need you to learn how to do this. But he's like, baby, that's your strength. That's what you do. That's your strength. I'm not good at that, which is why I turn to you. And sometimes it gets frustrating being the strong person in this level and that level. And I can understand that stuff gets frustrating. Fred, I'm going to need you to explain this statement, okay? I'm going to need you to explain that statement because I just need you to explain it. I need you to pull up a little bit more. I'm going to need you to come up a little bit more what you mean by that. sometimes it gets hard. I lost my train of thought. It gets hard sticking to your strength or being okay with being the person who is always turned to do X, Y, and Z, because that's your strength. It can get difficult being it can get overwhelming. You know what I mean? Like sometimes you're like, listen, I don't want to cook tonight. I know you like my pork chops, but listen, I cooked meatloaf last night and pork chop. You want pork chops today? And we had ham, listen, I need a break. I need a break. It can get overwhelming. And that's when your partner, having that partner that can understand and can notice and can see, can step in and say, you know what? I ain't a cook either. But all right, so I'm gonna order dinner tonight. You go back, you sit back. I got this. I'm gonna order dinner tonight. Whatever it is, that's partnership. That's making you feel like you are heard, you are valued, I'm in this, we are in this together. That's teamwork. I don't have to be independent anymore. I don't have to shoulder everything by myself anymore, because now I have a partner, not just that example, but I have a partner to help do certain things, to help do certain things, to help, carry the load. If you are carrying the load yourself, guess what? You are independently taking care of things, whether you have a partner or not. And that's where just having somebody in the home doesn't mean that you're not carrying the load yourself. That's not what it means. It doesn't mean that you're not carrying the load yourself, because you can have somebody in the house. Like I said, there's couch surfers, right? There's people who just sit on the couch all day. They play video games, and they don't do anything. Right. Just because I'm better at something doesn't mean I put you down or be rude or vice versa or anything like that. If I'm better at money management, I don't got to make you feel like you don't know anything about spending money and you always doing this. And I don't need to do that. Because I'm better at cleaning the house doesn't mean I need to make you feel bad because you're not as organized as I am. Maybe I can help you. Maybe I can give you some tips at how you can get better at doing the things that I'm better at. And then we also have to learn how to accept our weaknesses and maybe learn how to get you may never get to your partner's level, but you can improve. You can get a little bit better with certain things. Learning the computer, some people just ain't never going to learn the computer, and that's okay. But with other things, it's teamwork. It's teamwork. And that is where you take away from people, feeling rather that they're in this alone, right? Fred said the waters are muddled because when women of all races stood on the soapbox, Black women stood on the same soapbox. When women of other races left, Black women stood on that soapbox and stayed on that. Okay. But aren't all women still on that same? It's not like it's only Black women up there saying, we want equal pay. We can do this. We can do that. It's not just Black women up there. Now, the independent term, you said that men gave women that term independent, that independent woman thing came from men. That's what you said earlier in our conversations. So the feminist movement, was hey, we're not just here to be housewives and make babies for you. That's not what the only thing that we're here for, especially once women were forced into the work zone and realize, hey, I can get out here and I can do the same exact thing that he's doing. I'm a secretary. I can do so much more than just get you coffee. How long? And there's still men who hate that women are in the workforce, they don't want to answer to a woman boss. There's so much stigma that is still in play that I think a lot of that also plays into the bashing of women who announce themselves to be able to do what a lot of other women are doing. I keep saying every other woman, but what other adults can do, take care of themselves. Should we have to announce that we can take care of ourselves? No. No. And maybe that's part of the issue. You know, black men, and I'm going to keep saying black men, feel as if, you know, when she says she could take care of herself, I don't like it. Because if she's saying she can take care of herself, she don't need me. Do you want to be needed or do you want to be wanted? That's number one. Like, I need y'all men to make up your mind. Do you want to be needed or do you want to be wanted? Because y'all are sending out both messages. You're saying, I need you to need me, but if you need me, you just want me for my money. But I don't need you to need me. I want you to be able to take care of yourself. So I know that you just want me for me. But if I can take care of myself, y'all don't want me to tell you that I can take care of myself. I think that's what it is. Right. I don't think the feminist movement agreed. Hurt any man who believes that a woman has rights other than barefoot and pregnant and taking care of my house. You know, that I have to agree with that. You know, if you think that women just belong in the house barefoot and pregnant and, you know, saying yes, sir, to all of your whims and things, then make sure that that's what you're raising your daughter to do. You know, I feel like men say things to their girlfriends or potential mates that they would never say to their daughters. You know, I don't think that any man would raise his daughter to be the type of woman that he's out here telling women they need to be, unless, you know, the men that are saying positive things, you know, men that are saying women, well, you lost your man because you wouldn't do X, Y, and Z. Are you telling your daughter that? Are you telling your daughter, you know, right? Women have been, you know, contributing to society. You know, so unless you don't think that women should do anything, you know, men that are out here saying, you know, you got to be able to be, you know, a lady in the streets and a freak in the bed. Are you telling your daughter that? Are you raising your daughter with those same things? You know, are you telling your sister, you know, the reason why you ain't got a man is because you ain't freaky enough in the bed? Are you telling your sister that? Are you telling your sister the reason why she ain't got no man is because, you know, she make too much money? She got a house, she got a car, and that's why she can't find a man, because she doing too much. She needs to, you know, step back and, you know, shrink herself a little bit so that a man can feel comfortable around her. Is that what you're telling your daughter and your sister and, you know, your mom or whoever, whatever single women you know? Is that what you're telling them? Or are you only telling that to your potential partner? Because it's got to start somewhere, right? I mean, if that's what you really believe about women, that women should not be independent, they should not be able to take care of themselves, they should not be saying that, you know, I can do it myself, I don't need a man to do it for me, I can do it myself. If you don't think women should be saying that type of stuff, then you ought to be telling every woman in your circle, including your daughters, that. Because otherwise, you're sending two different messages. Yes, based on knowledge, not gender, not race, not age, equal pay, equal everything. Like, if I can do the job, then I ought to get paid because I can do the job. You know, I ought to get paid because I can do the job, period. Regardless of if I'm a woman or if I'm a man or if I'm black or if I'm white, if I can do the job, I should get the job, period, point blank. Right. Fathers want to beat dudes down because their daughter was disrespected, yet they say and do the exact same thing to their wife or partner, or spew the same thing on their social media platform. They'll get out here on these social media platforms and say X, Y, and Z, and women this, women that, men this, men that, and women do the same thing, men this, men that, and then go home and be upset that your teenage daughter, her boyfriend, said those exact same things to your daughter. But you just got finished saying that that's what women were, and that's what women were good for. And you just got finished calling women H's all up and down your show and B's all up and down your show. But now you mad that your daughter's boyfriend called her the same thing that you just got finished saying all over social media. I don't, the term triggers some men. It can possibly negatively empower some women, and it can be used in a nefarious fashion. True. And like I said, I will not negate the fact that some people use it in a way that Fred said. Some ladies definitely use the term in a way to kind of dig at men. I won't negate that. And I think that men that are triggered can be triggered by those types of women when they put us all in the same category. That, okay, well, this woman is saying it as a badge of honor. This woman is saying, and not a badge of honor in that I can take care of myself, but in a way of, I don't need no man. I don't need you. I can do this. And when, ladies, when we get to doing all of this and we know what we're doing. Let's not fake the funk. We know what we're doing. We know why we're saying it. We know that we're doing it as a dig. And when you do it as a dig, it puts into the back of that man and every other man or young boy who's seen it that this is how women think. So then the term gets connected to a negative connotation. So then men be like, nah, independent women are saying they don't need us. They don't want us. They could take care of themselves. When in fact, there's probably a lot of women who use the term just to say, I can take care of myself. I've come to a point in my life where I can take care of myself. I can do for myself. But we should not have to announce that we can take care of ourselves. And like I said to the Instagrammers, I don't want to keep saying this name because it sounds like I'm being disrespectful, but that is his Instagram handle. To his point that, yeah, you don't hear other race of women claiming to be an independent woman. They just go about and do what they have to do. They go to college or go to work or whatever, and they take care of themselves, and no one has to put a badge on their, Facebook page that says, hey, independent woman over here, I can take care of myself. And neither do we. We do not have to use the term. There's no reason for us to have to say, let everybody know that I can take care of myself, that you can just take care of yourself. Just pay your bills. Just, cook your dinner. Just make sure your children, if he walked out and you got kids and you're taking care of them, just take care of them. We do not have to announce to the world that we can take care of ourselves. Because no, you don't hear on a norm nowhere near as much as we do. Now, I'm not saying there's no women of any other race that don't do it, because I'm sure there are some women of other races that do it, but not anywhere near to the amount that we do it, ladies. We know that this is true. So we cannot say that that's not true, because we know 100% we are the ones who use that term, and we use it as a badge of honor. But like it's been said in the comments, everybody takes care of themselves. We're not doing anything different than any other culture or any other adult out here is doing, is we are taking care of ourselves. So we don't need to go out there and say, hey, I can take care of myself. Just do it. Just do it. Just do what you do. Pay your bills, get your car, get your house, make sure your apartment's paid for, furnish your house. If you want to go out on a trip with the girls and you want to go, do it. But you don't have to make, and this, I don't know why we feel that we need to, Right. We can't put all men down, and I'm not trying to put all men down and then get mad when they do it to us. Yes, Yes. It's got to go both ways, because if we get mad when they say stuff about us, we turn right around, and then it just becomes this vicious cycle of us doing things. You know, that tit for tat thing that me and my husband talk about all the time. Tit for tat. You say something, now I got to say something. Now I said something, now you got to say something. Now you said something, and we just keep going back and forth, and no one is getting to the root of the issue. No one is getting to, why are you triggered when I say this? Why do I feel the need that I have to say this? You know? Men want credit for doing what they aren't doing. They don't want to hear it because it makes him feel some kind of way. Well, that's a loaded statement. That's a loaded statement. I mean, is there truth in that statement? Because, like I said, we got to get to the root of why do men feel triggered? Why is it a triggering statement to hear a woman say she can take care of herself? Now, like I said, ladies, when we get to the da-da-da-da-da-da-da, we know we're doing it to dig at a man. We know that we're doing it to dig. We know what we do, when we do it, why we're doing it. We know. And maybe some of us don't know why. Maybe, like it's been said, it's just been taught. Don't rely on no man. Don't ever put yourself in a situation where a man can put you out of his house. Have your own. Don't put yourself in a situation where you go to a restaurant and a man says, I ain't paying, that you ain't got no money. You just pull out your credit card and you pay for your own half of the dinner. Don't ever put yourself in a situation where, you know, you are in need and your man won't provide, so you can't have. Maybe that's what she's been taught. So that's what she knows. And is there anything wrong with teaching your daughter that? Because we have all seen these things happen, or know someone that these things have happened to. I've been put out of a car before. I done been having an argument, get out of the car, not near my house, got nobody to call. I've been there. If I didn't have money for a cab, I'd have been stuck in the middle of nowhere. How I'm gonna get home? Which explains why I say the divide between Black men and Black women is bigger than the Grand Canyon. We don't know how to effectively communicate or communicate to bring yes, 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 all yes, yes, yes. Say more positive about each other. Make our life more peaceful. But yes, can we promote peace? And this note was to, is it wrong to teach your daughter those things? You know, communication within the Black community is so far off. And I saw a post the other day, I think I posted it on my Facebook page, is we need to teach our sons and daughters, especially our sons, because we tell girl falls, it's, oh, are you okay? Boy falls, it's man up. So we teach our sons not to be communicative. We teach our sons it's, you're not supposed to feel anything. You're not supposed to do anything. You're not supposed to, feel. But men feel. Men can be hurt. Men can be disappointed. Men can feel all of these things. And we stifle those emotions from a very young age. We do not give our children permission to tell us how they feel. Now, tell us in a respectful manner, yes. But why aren't children allowed to say, that hurt my feelings? Why aren't children allowed to say, I don't like what you did? When are they going to learn how to be able to adequately communicate their emotions if in their formative years they were never given the opportunity? They were only taught, do what I say, shut up, and do what I say. Point blank, period. Nobody asked you how you felt about it. Nobody asked you if you liked it. Just do it. But then when they grow up, we expect them to learn how to communicate. Why'd you do it? Well, I don't know. Somebody told me to do it, so I did it. because you've only allowed me to do what I'm told to do. You've taught me to do what I'm told to do, whether I like it or not. I don't have a right to say no. I can't tell you I don't like this. And then when things happen, it's like, well, why didn't you say anything, or why? Because this is what you taught me. I've never been allowed to express myself. It's never even crossed my mind that, I can say no. I can say I don't like this. I can say I'm disappointed in you. Why can't our children say that they're disappointed in us? Maybe we've done something that disappointed our children, but they can't tell us that, right? How dare you? No. Communication is waning because we start that at a very young age. We get mad at men for having feelings and women for having none. I think it might be the opposite. But I get what you're saying. Yes. No, I get what you're saying. I think women are seen as emotional creatures, and they think we have way too many emotions. And then when men have emotions, we have women out there who call them weak. If your man is crying, he's weak. If he's emotional, he's weak. If something gets to him, he's weak. But at the same time, you want your man to open up and tell you what's wrong with him. But when he does, you call him weak. You ain't a man. You ain't a man. Men don't cry. I mean, ladies, we can't have it both ways. We can't have it both ways. We are definitely speaking two different languages. Of course, we know this. Women are much more emotional. We see things more emotionally than men do. But a lot of that also is because this is how we were raised. Men, little boys and little girls are raised completely different. Little boys are raised to stifle their feelings, and little girls are given permission to cry and to do all of the little things that they do, because we say, oh, she's just a little girl. That's what little girls do. Oh, she's getting into her teenage years. She's getting into her feelings. That's what little girls do. But little boys, he's starting to feel his oats. He's starting to, we're gonna nip that in the bud. This is what we do. Black men and women talk at each other and not to each other. We have to understand that. Understand the difference of talking at me or to me. Children can express, like I said, express themselves, but it needs to be done in respect. And it's about respect in both instances. It is. It's all about respect. But children have to learn what does respect mean. And then they grow up to understand that. If you have to do something disrespectful in order to learn that that's disrespectful, you have to do something in a respectful manner. Well, if you've done something, like you have to fall in order to understand getting up and trying again, right? If you never make a mistake, then you don't understand the emotions that come from making a mistake, right? So if you've never done B, then you won't understand C, D, E, F, G. Because if you're always getting it right on A, or if A is the only option, like, no, I said A and that's it. That's the only option is A. There is no other option. There is no, but I want to try B. There is none of that. If we tell our children, I said to do it A, and if you do B and you fall, that's your problem. Well, then children also aren't going to learn how to find their own way in life, because just because we see something doesn't mean that they see it. And what you want is for your children to see it, because otherwise they're only, again, doing what you tell them to do. They aren't learning how to see things that are wrong. They aren't learning how to navigate the waters themselves. You're in the back of the boat and you're steering life for them. You're not allowing them to be able to go left and see the crocodile and then like, oh, wait, I got to go back right. You're just saying, oh, there's a crocodile up there. Stay away from it. So they steer away from it. But they never saw the crocodile. Right? Women are called to emotion or to, yeah, exactly. I got what you were saying. We are either too emotional or we are too masculine, too mannish. That's what they say about us women, right? So what I was saying, Tony, was if you do not allow them to see the danger and you just want them to do things the way that you tell them to do them, they never get to learn what to see, what to do, oh, there's danger up ahead, so I got to back off. If you're always telling them about the danger up ahead, they're just doing what you said. Or, yeah, that's what I said. I used a crocodile, but, so as adults, we expect adults to act a particular way. But when we have children, we are training our children in the exact opposite way of what we expect adults to act. That doesn't make any sense, right? That's like, as an adult, I want, bread to be made with, flour, eggs, water, oil. I teach my child, though, to make bread with cornflakes and rice. It doesn't make any sense, right? But I'm just saying this as an example. Then when they grow up, they're going to make bread the way you taught them. But other people, when they grow up and they're adults, they're like, no, bread is supposed to be made this way. I know I'm going like stupid crazy, but this is what I'm saying. Like, we teach our children, our men, to be unemotional, and we teach our daughters to be emotional. Then when we grow up, because we're emotional as ladies, we expect our partners to also open up and to divulge all of these things. But that's not how they were taught, right? Men are like, y'all got way too much emotions going on. Like, that's not what I do, blah, 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 because that's how they were taught. So if we want different, we have to start raising the next generation to be different. No, we do not. We do not create safe spaces to communicate effectively. And that's mostly because most of us were not taught how to communicate. We were taught to be silent. That right there is saying everything. We were taught to be silent. Kids are not to be heard. They are to be seen. Right? That's what a lot of us, I'm 51, so I know that's what a lot of us were taught, right? Kids are to be heard, to be seen, not to be heard. Go in the kids' room, stay in your kid's place. I don't want to hear it. If I tell you to do A, you better do it. I don't want to hear any questions about it. I don't want to hear anything about it. Go do what I said, whether you like it or not. But the food I put on your plate is what you better eat, and you better eat all of it. How dare you not like the food I made? How dare you be full before you finished your plate? So then when we grow up with eating disorders because we're trying to finish our plate of food, I've been there. Taught to finish everything that's on my plate, I have to eat it, whether I like it or not, whether I'm full or not, no matter what. So you have no rights as a child, right? You have no rights as a child, nothing. Your only right is to exist, basically, get A's and B's in schools and keep your room clean. Like, that's it, right? But I digress. I mean, I really don't. I mean, we're going off topic a little bit, but it's getting back to the root of issues. Communication is the root. Why do we, women of color specifically, feel like we have to announce that we can take care of ourselves? And why are men, specifically men of color, triggered by a woman of color saying that she can take care of herself? Why both of them? Like, both of those things need to be deep dived into. And that's how I was raised too. Definitely. Then folks get mad as adults, right? As adults, because our current dispositions are taught and learned, people. We are taught and we are learned, or We seen things and we decided I'm going to exit stage left. My mother yelled and screamed, so that's not what I'm going to do. My father put his hands on my mother, so I'm never going to let a man hit me. Or matter of fact, I'm going to stay away from relationships because every man my mama ever got with was like this. Or every man in my life is abusive, so I don't trust men. Experience, like they say, your environment dictates the type of adult you're going to be. You either fall in line with your environment or you decide to somehow go the opposite, right? Either this is what I've seen, so this is what is normal to me. Or this is what I've seen and this is not what I'm going to accept, so I'm going to do the opposite. Environment, what you're taught, your upbringing, what you've seen, all of those things play into who we become as adults. The only way to change the narrative is to start changing the environment, changing the lessons that we teach the next generation. And then as adults to begin to heal and to figure out, why do certain things trigger us? Why do these phrases, why do these environments, why when I'm in a certain situation, do I suddenly feel like I'm not safe? Why when I hear certain words, do I suddenly get immediately angry? Why when I see certain things, does it make me feel a particular way? Because nobody can make us feel. He can't make you mad. You choose your own emotions. It can be a trigger. But once you know your triggers and once you become aware of your triggers and you can now get to the root of why it's a trigger. Why, when this and this is done, do I feel this way? Why does this make me react this way? Because we can't control anybody else but ourselves. I can't make my husband do anything. Lord knows I've tried. But I can't make him do anything. I can suggest, I can moan about it, I can groan about it, I can do all of this stuff, but he's the only person who can choose to do anything. I just saw a video yesterday where the guy said, women have the power to change men. Do not start pushing that narrative. Stop it right here, right now. We cannot make anybody do anything that they do not want to do. Because then that becomes another thing when y'all was just saying women always trying to change men. Women get with men that aren't what they want, and then they think they can love them enough or they can sex them enough or they can do all of this stuff to change him. This guy just got on his platform and said, yes, you can. Then the next day, I'm sure he's got another video on his post saying women always trying to change men. Like, this is what I'm saying. The multiple things out there, the multiple, videos, the multiple people's platforms. You're being told A, then you're being told B, then you're being told C, then you're back to being told A. Like, come on, people, make it make sense. You can't say, I want you to want me, not need me. But if you need me, like, come on. You got to pick a term. Pick a lingo, pick a language, but definitely please do not let this become a new thing to where now we are now also responsible for our man not living up to his full potential. That's not my responsibility. I can love you. I can give you hints. I can tell you that I see more in you. I can tell you that you can be better. I can tell you all of that stuff, but it is not me to change you. You have to see that you want to be different. The term is triggering if it's delivered in an intimidating context. We have to see beyond the words that are spoke and discern the context and the intent of what is spoken. Yeah. I say this, and this is a phrase. It's not what you said, it's how you said it, right? We've all heard that. It's not what you said, it's how you said it. You could say it's raining outside, or, you could say, oh, it's raining outside. Two different meanings, right? One, oh, it's raining outside. Oh, it's raining outside. One is like, oh, it's raining out. She's just saying it's raining. Maybe she's happy. The other one is like, oh man, she's upset because it's raining outside. You know, I'm an independent woman. I can take care of myself. I don't need no man to do nothing for me. When you say that, that's a trigger. I'm 100% sure that is triggering every man that hears that. And every man that hears you say it like that is like, oh, well, you don't need a man then. You don't want a man. You happy by yourself. You don't need a man to do nothing for you. The way your delivery has triggered the men that hear that to say, you don't need a man. And they also may be feeling like you saying you don't want a man. Because you got it. You don't need a man for nothing. Right? Let's see. You can back to the, however, it's about how it's done. It's the way it's being looked at is different, not responsible. Yes, we have keys, which he did bring up. He brought up your little key thing, you know, but it is not up to a woman. You still have to choose to change. I cannot make a man change. You have a choice. A man cannot make a woman change. I have a choice. Tony can give me all the hugs he wants to if I'm mad. It is up to me to relinquish my anger or stay in that place of anger. I can give Tony a hug and a kiss when he's mad. He says that's my key. But he still has to decide to relinquish whatever is going on within him to soften up. I can hug him all day long. If he chooses to stay in his place of anger, nothing that I do is going to change that. The power is up to the person. Somebody can put a key in the door, but if you change the locks, my key ain't going to work. I don't have no universal key that works every single time. Nobody has a universal key because we are all responsible for our own actions. That puts the responsibility of how somebody else acts or what somebody else does onto somebody else. And that's not true. I cannot make you do anything that you do not want to do or that you do not see a need to do. I could tell you all day long that you should be a CEO of a company. Man, you are smart enough to be a CEO. All these ideas that you have, they are beautiful. They are wonderful. Baby, if you just do X, Y, and Z, if you don't see it or you don't start to believe it, it's not going to happen just because I said it. At some point, you have to start to see yourself in that. Now, I may help you. I may have implanted the seed where you start to believe, but you still have to, you got to do the work. Change is a choice incumbent on the person needing to change. We can encourage, not right. I can't nag you to change. I can't tell you all these different things, especially in a negative way, and expect a positive outcome. Ladies, we got to stop doing that too. We got to stop doing things in a negative way, expecting a positive outcome. That we got to stop doing too. Fellas, y'all got to stop expecting women to always come to you in this soft, 2-year-old mannered way. Baby, I really don't like it when y'all got to stop expecting us to say that 50,000 times in that manner. The same thing 50,000 times in that manner. Because if we had the power to change you, it wouldn't take 50,000 times of us saying it to the point to where we are so mad now that now we're yelling and screaming. And now, we don't forget it. I'm done. I'm out the door. And then y'all like, no, wait. I'll change. I got you, but I hear you now. Like, what? Wait, what? If we had the power to change you, we wouldn't have to say the same thing, 25 times. Y'all would have heard it on the first time. When we said it in that nice, loving, soft way. Most women, I think, we're just going to say some women and some men don't come hard the first time out the gate, right? They're going to say it in the nice way the first few times. Then when they feel like you just ain't listening or you just don't get it, then the tone changes. And then the tone changes. And then now the tone is angry. By the time you get to angry, though, you said it a few times before in a nice, mild manner, loving, affectionate way. We don't always go right to vinegar. Okay. So you are responsible for yourself. You are the head of you. This is what we teach our children, right? We don't teach our children that little Johnny, made him do anything. Little Susie didn't make you push her down. We don't tell Johnny that, yeah, she made you push her down because she called you a name you didn't like. No, we tell, just because somebody said something you don't like does not give you the permission to do this. You choose how you react. You choose every word that comes out of your mouth, you chose to say it. Every action that you do, you chose it. Whether you yell, whether you scream, the clothes you put on, you chose those things. The only person that has the power, the only person that has the power to change is the person wanting or needing the change. You have to acknowledge that change is necessary. If you are happy with the person that you are, why would you change? You're not going to change something that you don't think is wrong. And it won't be a lasting. Sometimes people will change. Let me say this. Sometimes people will change for the sake of a relationship, for the sake of a job. Your boss tells you, you got to stop doing X, Y, and Z. You don't see a problem with it, but boss says, I got to change it. Well, I don't want to change, but in order to keep my job, I got to change. My girl don't like it when I keep the toilet seat up. I ain't got no problem with keeping the toilet seat up, but to make my girl happy, I'll work on keeping the toilet seat down. But guess what? You may not have seen anything wrong with what you did, but you decided for the sake of the relationship, I'm going to do something that makes somebody else happy. I don't have a problem with it, but it's going to make her happy. So I'm deciding to do it. If you don't decide, come to a place in your mind where you are willing to do that, you're going to keep leaving the toilet seat up. I don't care if she don't like it or not. There ain't no problem. Why can't she look before she sits down? Why do I have to keep putting the toilet seat down? Like she can't look before she sits, right? It could go either way. Nobody can make you do anything that you have not come to an understanding in your mind that you need to do or that you want to do. So just because at church a couple of weeks ago, pastor's wife preached and she said, just because it's society-wise correct, she was saying it doesn't make it right with God, but I'm going to say it doesn't make it right with you. It shouldn't make it right with you. So just because all of the predecessors in your family, the lines of the women before you have said, I don't need no man. You don't rely on no man. Take care. Doesn't mean that that has to be your narrative. You can and should be independent. You should be able to take care of yourself, but you do not have to announce to the world that you're being an adult. I'm an adult. I can take care of myself. We are all adults and we are all out here trying to take care of ourselves in this world and fend for ourselves. Everybody's out here trying to do it. Black women, we do not have to wear it as a badge. Like we have to let everybody else know that I got a job and I got an apartment and I got a car. Because guess what? Your Caucasian girlfriend, she's doing the exact same thing. Your Asian sister over here, she's doing the exact same thing. Your Latino brother over there, he's doing the exact same thing. We are all out here trying our best to make it in this world and take care of ourselves. We don't need a badge that says, I can do what everybody else is doing. Fellas, we got to figure out, we have to acknowledge, fellas have to acknowledge why a lot of women feel the way that they do. Because Tony in one of his, I don't know if it was a show that we did together or in his show, he showed me the thing where brother said, I don't care. I don't care why she feels the way she does. I don't care what she went through to feel the way that she does. All I know is my woman better not do it. My woman better not say it. My woman better not X, Y, and Z. So if what we are hearing from our Black men is we do not care the pain that you have gone through to make you feel the way that you feel right now. We don't care about it. We don't care if you done been beaten, broken, abused, let down, disheartened. We don't care about none of that. I don't care. Then you are also just perpetuating that you're just another man that's breaking our heart. You're just another man that's saying, I don't care nothing about your emotions. I don't care nothing about what you went through. All I want is what I want. And you better give it to me. And what I want is for you to, I don't know, to need you or want you. Because which one do you want us to do? Pick one. You can't change anything without acknowledging how we got to this point. You can't change without going back and peeling off the layers of hurt and peeling off the layers to understand where the bruise came from. You can't treat a scab if you don't look at the scab, right? You can't treat a cut if you don't look at the cut. What made it? Is it infected? Is there something inside the wound? You can't do any of those things if you don't get to the root cause of it. And if men are going to say, I don't care why you're bleeding, wrap that thing up and let's move forward, then it's just going to stay infected. It's just going to hurt. It's going to continue to hurt because it has not been dealt with. Ladies, the same for us. If we're not willing to acknowledge, yes, that pain and those experiences gives important context. To ignore that is folly and potentially dangerous. Exactly. If you ignore the root cause, if you ignore what's going on, if you ignore on both sides, ladies, if we are going to ignore the fact that we know our tongue can be lethal, we know that we know how to say some hurtful things and we do it on purpose. Let's call a spade a spade. If we are going to want X, Y, and Z, we have to be willing also to acknowledge that some of the things that we say and the way that we say them and our delivery can be potentially hurtful and triggering to some men. Maybe not all men, but maybe to some men. And maybe we need to come together as a community and let's get to the root of both sides. Let's figure out why she's saying it. Why does it bother him? Why does she feel she needs to say it? Why does it bother him? You know what I mean? Both sides need to be able to be honest and stop bashing each other. Why in the Black community do we feel the need to bash each other? We go back and forth. We go back and forth. We go back and forth. And we just talk each other down so much. Black women bash Black women. Black men bash Black women. Black women bash Black men. Black men are also starting to bash other Black men, you know, calling y'all simps. And if you're a man who's taking care of his household, then you got a platform and you're talking about being a good man. Oh, now you're just pandering to women. You're a simp. You're like, so now being a good man, being a provider, being a protector, taking care of your household, now that man is getting bashed. So why would he want to do that when his brothers are calling him out of his name? Like, we've got to do better. We have got to do better as a community, as a culture. We have got to do better, because the things that we say we want home, we want community, we want our community to get together and to be stronger. We are not using our vernacular. We are not using our vocabulary. We are not using our platforms, all of these social media platforms that people are on. We are not using that to build each other up. A lot of us are using our platforms and our to tear each other down for dollars. For dollars. Because we know, for some reason, our community loves chaos, right? So I'm going to talk down women. I'm going to talk down men. I'm going to get a whole bunch of views, and I'm going to laugh all the way to the bank. And we do not care what it is doing to our community. We do not care that young men and young women are seeing these things, and they are internalizing the words that you're saying on your podcast, on your 30-second, post that you're putting out there. We do not care that somebody's going to see that and be like, oh, so all chicks are bees and hoes. All chicks, I ain't supposed to give her none of my money. I ain't supposed to marry her. Why would I marry her? I ain't a man if I ain't out there making babies. Really? You have to be careful. If you want better for your community, then why aren't you doing things to promote better for your community? If that's what you really want. Oh, we look at each other as competition. There you go. There you go. Crabs in a barrel mentality. That is that crabs in a barrel mentality. Oh my goodness. But we get mad at other cultures when we see them work united. We get mad at other cultures when we see them unite and that they shop with each other and that they promote each other and that the Spanish bodega on the corner is full all the time. But when the brother opens his joint on the corner, on the other corner, nobody goes in there. Or your sister girl got a business and you always trying to get a discount, but you'll go to the other culture's store and you ain't asking her for no discount. You just gonna pay what it is. But when your brother has a business, come on, man. Why I gotta pay $10 for that? Come on, I got $5. I'll give you $5. But you don't do that with anybody else. We don't haggle with other people. Why are we haggling with our own? How can we come up as a community if we aren't supporting our own? We aren't competition. I just said that last week too. Tables are endless. Build a bigger room, build a bigger table. There is enough room for all of us at the table. We can all sit at the table. We can all eat steak and potatoes or whatever it is that you eat. There's enough room because we can just build a bigger room. We could coexist in a symbiotic manner if we stop being so damn ignorant. Stop seeing your brothers and sisters as competition, because I don't care if there's 15 hairstylists in your neighborhood. Are there only 15 people in your community? And why can't y'all come together and open up a beauty salon together? Now I got to have my own. But other cultures would come together, would say, okay, well, what we're going to do is we're going to build one. And then as people get enough clientele, she going to branch off and she going to open up one. And now she can put more people into hers. And then when you get big enough, now you can go open another one. But we don't do that. We got to be top tier number one and have everybody else underneath us. Build up now, because I struggled to get here. I had to work hard to get. I ain't giving nobody else no easy pass. Nah, man, I worked hard to get it. You got to work hard to get here too. But then we can't get mad at the other cultures when we see them thriving and striving and bending back down and lifting up that hand to help the next one up. And they get ahead. And we stay here because we want to do it all ourselves. I ain't helping nobody. I ain't giving nobody no leg up. I ain't opening no doors for nobody. I'm not telling nobody else about no other vending event, no other show. I'm not telling about no class. I'm not telling nobody nothing. If they didn't hear about it, that's their problem. But that doesn't mean that you're going to rise either. Just because you keep all the information doesn't mean that you're going to rise. I don't know why we do this. I mean, I do, some people say it goes back to that slave mentality, but a lot of us, the majority of us alive today weren't back in that mentality. So it's either been taught to us, it's just environmental. It's what we've learned. It's what we've seen. But we keep preaching. We want to get back to the days of community. We keep talking about we want to get back to, when we were able to rely on each other, community. We don't build to maintain oh Lord, if you ain't saying a word. Like, I don't understand it. If you want community, you have to learn how to become part of the community. You have to learn how to speak positive, breathe life into your community, breathe life into the men and the women in your community. You can't build a positive community by spewing arrogance, by spewing negativity, by bashing the members of your community, by telling everybody what they're doing wrong and pointing your fingers at them and you. If you want better, you got to be better. You got to do better. You have to expect better. What did Michael say? Talking to the man in the mirror. Be the change. It has to start somewhere. That's the start. So if you want positivity, you got to start speaking positivity. If you want to see a positive change, you have to believe, one, that a positive change is possible. And then you have to be that positive change and let it branch off from you. You start imparting that into your children, into the people in your circle, so that they can then take it and, like branches on a tree, they can start spewing it out and they can start making their own little community branches and spewing it out into as they step out into the community. But if we are so caught up in chaos and so caught up in the negativity and so caught up with tearing down the very fabric of our own communities, tearing down our mothers, our daughters, our sisters, our aunties, because those are the women that we are tearing down. Our fathers, our sons, our uncles, our brothers, those are the men that we are tearing down. If we are so caught up in tearing down each other, we will never get to a place where our community grows in a positive light. And we know that that's what the society wants, which is why they tore apart the Black family to begin with. And we have just been rolling with that ever since. We have just been rolling on that level ever since. We've been okay with it. Even though we talk about change, nobody is really doing change except for a moment. We get those brief moments when something bad happens and then the community comes back together. But then it's like, going to a funeral or a wedding. Everybody is all lovey-dovey and everything for that funeral. And we need to be in touch. And oh my goodness, I haven't seen you in so long. And maybe for like a month, everybody's keeping in touch, but then it goes right back to the way it used to be. If we want real changes in our community, it has to last more than a month. It has to last more than 2 months. It has to be change. Real change. Otherwise, it's just going to keep going the way it is and probably getting worse. You know what I mean? Like, what are we going to do? What are we going to do? And that becomes the question. What are we going to do? So check this out. So Trailblazers Radio, wherever you are watching from, make sure that you go to Trailblazers Radio on YouTube, on Instagram, on TikTok, on Facebook, and that you subscribe, like, follow all of those platforms so that you can be in the loop the next time somebody goes live on this platform. I am here every Monday, 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I am also here every other Wednesday with Sofa Chats with me and my husband. We do a show every second and fourth Wednesday, and then he does a show on his own every first and third Wednesday from 8 to 10 or 7 to 9, depending on his work schedule. But there are also other shows, and you can check them out. There's like three or four, I think, other shows on the platform. And you can check those out, especially if you like the Trailblazers radio platform on YouTube. You will get to see when those shows are coming up. You will be notified about those shows and all of that good stuff. This month, we are honoring authors. I did have a book that I wanted to mention, but I didn't. I changed my room around, y'all. I finally got everything off, and so I moved the book. But check out NBS Malay. She has several books. I was going to show you the one book that I do have by her, but you can go to Amazon. NBS Malay, two different words. NBS, one thing together. Malay is another thing together, and you can check out her books. Also, Tony Wade, TonyWade, also available on Amazon, and I'll put mine in the description because it's Caixa Rodriguez, also available on Amazon. So you can check out my books, Tony's books. Oh, and Frederick Beatty, he has a book out. Monica Reese, there's a whole lot of authors. So if you are an author and you would like to be mentioned on one of our shows this month, please make sure that you email myself, or you can email the page itself. On when you go and you like one of those pages, you can reach out and say, hey, I'm an author. How can I get my book mentioned this month? If you're a musician and you'd like to get your music played, hey, I'm a musician. How do I get my music played? If you'd like to be a guest on any one of our shows or a panelist, like we could have had some extra guests on here. We could have been having like a little discussion. Let me know. Let Fred know. Let Tony know. Let, any one of the other show hosts, Latanya. I might be saying her name wrong. I'm sorry. Let one of us know that you would like to be a guest on our show or a panelist or something like that. But yeah, all of that good stuff. I just wanted to thank you guys for being here. I'm going to leave you with a song, and then we're going to go about our day. I hope that you have a super wonderful, beautiful day, a blessed day. And remember, like I said, be the change that you want to see in the atmosphere. If you want to see positivity, you got to get out there and be positive. Remember to treat people with kindness. As my girl says, you never know what people are going through. You never know what the root cause of somebody's, having a sour, look on their face. They may have just gotten some bad news. You never know what people are going through. And it does not okay or condone people acting rude or anything like that. But don't take that onto yourself. Somebody's rude to you, so now you're going to be rude back to them. That doesn't change the atmosphere. If someone's rude to you, stay in your lane and, send them some positivity. Like, hey, I don't know what's going on with you, but I hope things get better for you. That's it. You don't have to let them change your atmosphere. You don't have to let somebody else's negativity or somebody else's rudeness or anything change who you are. Combat it with some love. Wish them a good day. And just, try to change them maybe. Since they say we have this ability to change people. Try to change them. So we will talk to you soon. I love you. Have a beautiful day. And we're going to end you with a song from me and Tony. I hope you guys like it. Bye.
Let me love you. Let me love you. If you love.
Yeah. I don't get it. You say you want to be with me, but I don't feel it.
Well, I don't know if you guys can hear it because I can't hear it on my side playing. So I guess we won't. I don't know if y'all can hear it. So I'm sorry. I can't hear it playing. So I don't know if it's playing. See you guys next time.